by an engineering language to create a visuals of your model. Okay, so what do you mean by engineering language? It is a communicative language to create the visuals of your model. Visuals create, yeah. Okay, so we have studied about the sketches. Sketches is one of the important engineering tool that has been used for decades. Okay, പണ്ടൊക്കെ ആണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ you are having civil, all the civil drawing you are doing with the hand drawing ആണ്, but nowadays we are having okay, the sketching. Okay, but nowadays we are having CAD in the, so using CAD കുറച്ചുകൂടെ digitalize ആയി, and it is pretty easier also. Okay, so different types of sketches are there. So we have view an object from the object നമ്മൾ ഒരു objectനെ like I view in the front portion won't be similar with the view that is from the side portion. Okay, the view at an angle of 30 degree will be different from the view that is at an angle of 45 degree. Different things, and in at angle of 45 degree you will be seeing some more things. Okay, so in this example you can see in the second axonomic sketches. Okay, you are unable to see the depth portion. The B, you are unable to see the depth portion of axonomic sketches. When you do axonomic sketches, depth, that is depth lines are given important. So from this picture you will understand the depth of the depth of your model. Okay, so like that we are having different types of sketches. Okay, 30 degrees, like engineering graphics you have studied. Like engineering graphic is one of the best example of sketching. You have studied about the engineering graphics. So there you are drawing like a cone, how it is developing into ellipsoid, cone, parabola, all these cubic parabola, everything you have studied there. So there what you're doing, uh, you're actually viewing things at different angles. Okay, you are drawing things which you are viewing at a particular angle, maybe at a 30 degree, maybe at a 40 degree, but different angle നിങ്ങൾ കാണുന്ന objects you are plotting. Okay, so that is the sketching. Okay, so there are different forms of drawing. Okay, suppose if you have created any model, okay, how will you show that model to an evaluator? Okay, only by drawings. Okay, only by drawings. So initially you will be having a presentations. In that presentation you will show your drawings. Okay, so when we communicate design results to the manufacturer, we must think very carefully about the fabrication specification that we create in the drawings as well as those we write. We ensure that our drawings are both appropriate to our design and prepared in accordance with the relevant engineering practices and standard. Okay, so as a designer I have developed something and you are the manufacturers. If I want to tell to you, see, manufacture like this, I'm a communication engineer, like I cannot do this, I cannot do that. So ഒരു manufacturer ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ design പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കണം എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ I need to create a drawings. This you might have seen, like site engineer, he is actually getting drawings from the main office. From a structural engineer he will get drawings from a structural engineer. A site engineer will get drawings. And what site engineer is doing, he will read that drawings and he will erect building at the site. Okay, so that is what drawing has a very big importance in the field of engineering. We actually communicate our ideas through the drawings. Okay, whether it is a designer to manufacture or from a site to site, wherever it is, your drawing has to be appropriate and it has to be prepared as per the relevant engineering practices and standards. Okay, so we are having a set of drawings, different types of drawing. The first one is layout drawings. Okay, different types of drawings are there. First one is layout drawings. So you can see the example of a layout drawings. What do you mean by layout drawings? That is working the working drawing that show the major parts of a components of a device and then their relationship. They are usually drawn to scale to show tolerance and are subject to change as the design process involves. Layout. From the name itself, we can understand what you mean by layout. So, layout means it will be actually showing the major components of a device. Okay, suppose if you're designing a machine, the major components of the design machine will be shown on the layout drawings. See, you have completed the building drawing, right? So in that, what actually you are doing, you would have drawn in a layout a site plan. Site plan. So first, what we'll be doing? Site drawing. First, there will be a plot. Inside the plot, you will be showing your house plot will show, nearby road will show. That is the major components you're showing. You're not showing the house in detail. ആ വീടിൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിലുള്ള പ്ലാനോ കാര്യങ്ങളോ ഒന്നും നിങ്ങൾ കാണിക്കില്ല. You will just show the major components. That is, first one is a plot. Next one is telephone line. These components are the layout drawing. Okay, so that is called as a layout drawings. So similar to coming to a machine, coming to a design also, here you are showing only the major components. So they are usually drawn to the scale. Okay, they are usually drawn to the scale and to not to show their tolerances. And as if there is any changes, accordingly your layout plan will be also changing. Second one is detailed drawing. Okay, so this is a drawing from the name itself we can understand detailed drawing. That is something in detail you are getting. Okay, the informations are conveyed detailing. Okay, this shows the individual part of the components of a device and their relationship. In detail drawing, what it is, what are you seeing? You will be able to see the individual parts and relations. Okay, suppose if you're taking a building drawing, in a detailed drawing, you can see the house plan. Okay, how many bedrooms you have, how many kitchens you have. Okay, how many bathrooms, where is the kitchen? All these things you can see in a detailed drawing. That means you're projecting the individual parts. Okay. So detailed drawing are the drawing which actually show the individual parts of the components. So layout or a site plan, what is you're having? You're having road, septic tank, all these things. But all these things you are not showing in a detailed drawing. So here actually we are projecting the most important thing, that is the house. Okay, and its individual components we will project. So similarly, if you come to design of a machine or if you come to design of a device, individual parts here you can see this is a screw. Might be this is a screw or something like it is a shaft. Okay, this is a shaft. Okay, ഈ ഷാഫ്റ്റിന്റെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് ആണ് ഇവിടെ കാണിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത്. അതിന്റെ ഡയമീറ്റർ, all the specifications you can see. Okay, how many rivets are used, how many bolts are used, at which angle, how many keys are used, all these things in detail they have shown here. Okay, so these drawings will show the tolerances and they must also specify materials and special processing requirements. Okay, so detailed drawings they will actually show you tolerances. So they will specify which materials you are using, maybe whether it is aluminum, whether it is a metal, whether it is a copper, what kind of materials you are using. It will also specify the processing requirements. All these processing requirements will be also shown in the picture. So detailed drawings are drawn in conformance with the existing standards authorization. So this detailed drawing will be shown as per the engineering standards. Okay, so we're having a set of engineering standards. So this will be drawn as per the engineering standards. All the formats will be included. Okay, and it will provide you all the authorizations. Okay, you can see from this picture. See, this is drawn as per the engineering standards. So whenever you're drawing in engineering drawing, it will be having a title block. See, this title box is having a set of patterns. You are not permitted to break this. This is a set of rules which has to be followed in the detailed drawing. You are not you are not supposed to break the rules. Also, the detailed drawing, it should have the standard drawing views. It should have a, like the left portion, it should be like this. Right portion, it should be like this. Middle portion, it should be like this. Center portion, it should be like this. Right portion, you will be having the plan into elevation. Side portion, you will be having the section. Okay. So all these are the set of rules which has to be followed. That is a standard view of a drawing. So that has to be followed in a detailed drawing. That is, you have to follow the standard drawing views, standard symbols to indicate particular items. Clear, legible. Okay, you should not write in a running letters which is not understandable. It should be clear, block letters, and it should be clear. It should be clear and steady lines. Okay, you should try and write in a clear and steady lines. Appropriate notes should be included in the it should have the details. Like in a drawing, you will be specifying the windows, number of windows, dimension of the windows. At the same time, you will also mention about the doors, number of the doors, the dimension of the road. Okay, so all that specification of the materials and all the appropriate notes should be included in the standard form. And also, definitely, you should include the title of the drawing. The date is, and also dimension is very good, whether it is known in a centimeter, millimeter, okay, which dimension you have drawn. All these things you have to show in a detailed drawing. Coming to the next one, that is assembly drawing. Any commonly used to show such a fit relationship. Okay, you can see from this picture, assembly drawing. From the name itself, we can show that it is actually showing the assembly of certain things. That is, in detail drawing, what are you showing? You are showing the details of the individual components. If you're taking a machine, that machine will be having a lot of components, like it will be having certain screw, it will be having a shaft. Okay, individual components, the details you will be showing in the detailed drawing. Assembly drawing, you will show the individual parts or the components of the part fit together. Who is to be together. Our individual parts എല്ലാം ഒരുമിച്ച് നിർത്തിയിട്ടുള്ള drawings. That is assembly drawing. You can see in this picture. See, this is a machine. So this is a one individual component. All the individual components will be and assembly drawing. So this is mainly to show the relationship between each component. Okay. ഓരോ individual components ഉള്ള relationship കാണിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ് you are drawing this type of drawing. You can see from this picture, this is one large machine. See. To so from this picture you can understand. So this is actually machine drawing, mechanical people can understand. So from this figure we can understand the relationship between the each components.
ഇപ്പോൾ സുഖിയില്ല സുഖി പെട്ടെന്ന് സെക്കൻഡ് ടൗൺ 6 days തന്നാൽ മതി immediate ಅಂತ ಸೆಟ್ immediate ಸೆಟ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್
So if you're recreating such a model, it will be very easy to understand for the third person. Okay, if you're creating such a CAD model, okay. So that is another way of communicating. So sketches means normally some expertise people will be understanding. Okay, but if you're creating a model like this, I think everybody can understand what is what you are going to design. See, from this model itself, we can understand. We are add. Okay. This is very good for the digital visualizations and making of 3D models with the help of software is called as geometric modeling. Okay. So if you are making a 3D model with computer software, it is called as geometric modeling. So a lot of CAD softwares are available depending upon the applications. These software provide many features such as color rendering, texture, etc. to communicate the design more close to the reality. Okay. So നമ്മൾ പഠിച്ച one set is drawings or engineering communication. നമ്മുടെ design if you want to communicate with others, you can use sketches. Okay, so the different types of you can use drawings. So different types of drawings are there. First one is layout drawing and detail drawing, and also you have assembly drawing. Apart from this, one of the most advanced method of communicating your design is to create a 3D models. Okay, so the person who is seeing this can understand what creating a geometric model. So CAD is a software which is used to draw. At the same time, you can also create 3D models. So it is also having a provision for coloring. Okay, you can provide colors, you can provide shadows. Okay, so with all these things, you can understand what is the which is used and where it can be used. All these things you can understand it from such a 3D model. So that is another beautiful way of communicating your design. Communicate oral presentations and also by your documentations. Okay, oral presentations and documentation is also very important. Okay, so there will be some people, they will be creating so beautiful things, but they are unable to conceive it to another person. Oral മറ്റൊരാളെ പറഞ്ഞ് മനസ്സിലാക്കാനുള്ള കഴിവ് അയാൾക്ക് ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. So oral presentation is also very important. Okay, whatever you are creating, അതിനെ നമുക്ക് കറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ജസ്റ്റിഫൈ ചെയ്തിട്ട് മറ്റൊരാളെ പറഞ്ഞ് മനസ്സിലാക്കണം. This is what I have decided. This is what it is used for. Okay, this is it. So oral presentations and documentation is very important. So here, reporting is an essential part of the design process. Design results in several ways, including oral presentation, final project, that may include design drawings and or fabrication specifications, etc., and prototypes and model. Okay. So reporting is the essential part of the design project. Okay. So you have not done any mini project, but in the coming semesters you will be doing mini projects. That is in next semester, S6 level. S5, you will be doing design project. So in the design project, what you will be doing, you will do something innovative. You will refer all those journals, and with the help of journals, you will do a project. You will do a small project. And end of the semester, you will prepare a report on your thesis, or you will create a report on your design project. Why you are creating is reporting is very important. Whatever you are doing, whatever informations you have collected, that has to be gathered together. That is why report is very important. Okay, നിങ്ങൾ എന്തൊക്കെ ചെയ്തു എന്നുള്ളതിന്റെ ഒരു റിപ്പോർട്ട് നമുക്ക് കിട്ടണം. So that is a report. Report is a very essential part of a design project, even in the final semester also. Okay, one whole year you are doing project. Okay, and end of the semester you will submit a report of the project. That means whatever informations you have collected, whatever informations you have gathered, whatever things you have done, all these things, whatever the calculations you have done, all these things you will accumulate as a book, and you will submit it as a report. Okay, a report will submit it. So reporting is very essential. We communicate final design. Okay, the final design project will be communicated in different ways. That is, you will be having an oral presentations, and you will be also submit a final reports. So same procedure we are following in our college also, like for the design projects and also for the project presentations. First you will be having project presentation, that is PPT presentations you will have. Okay, so during the PPT presentations you will tell us what is you are going to do. Okay, what is your plan, how when it will be completed, how it will be completed, all these things. That is oral presentation. Okay, after that you will submit a report. Whatever you have done, you will submit a report. So that is very important each and every design stages. So whenever if you're going to a company also, if you're doing anything in it, first of all you have to present your design orally. Okay, using PPT, you have to present your design, and after that you have to document it, and then you have to submit it as a report. So the prime purpose of such a communication is to inform our client about the design, including the explanations of how and why this design was chosen, or competing design alternatives. It is most important that we convey the results of the design process. Okay. So why you are doing all these things, why you are preparing report means that the client should know about the design and all its explanation and why he should adopt it. Okay. Why it is an alternative to the competing alternatives, sorry, competing designs. Okay. നിലവിലുള്ള ഡിസൈനിനെക്കാളും നിലവിലുള്ള ഡിസൈനിനെക്കാളും നിങ്ങളുടെ ഡിസൈൻ ഒരു കോമ്പറ്റേറ്റീവ് വൺ ആണെന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എങ്ങനെ നിങ്ങളത്, how will you tell the client? That is only by through your reports and by through your oral presentation. Okay, so the oral presentation, it actually give information to your client about your design. All the explanations will be included in it, and why he should choose it. Okay, so right now while designing the truck trolley, you have seen we have designed around 7 models. Okay, around 7 models was designed. Out of the 7 models you have chosen the last model. So how will you choose it? That is, the person, the client, he will thoroughly study all the models. Okay, so how he will study? He need to know about the models. So for that, he need a correct oral presentations, and also he need a correct documentation of all the models. So our documentation നോക്കിയിട്ടാണ് he will be understanding. Oh, this can be used like this. This can be used like this. This is an this is having an advantage like this. This is having a disadvantage like this. So all these things. So you are actually giving the information to the client. It is most important that we convey the result of the design process, and we should ensure that the final reports and presentations are not narrative or chronological of the work. Rather, the presentations and reports should be lucid discussions of design outcomes as well as the processes with which those outcomes were achieved. Okay, so what does it mean? So it means that okay, the reports, the final reports and presentation, it is not just a narrative thing. ഇതിങ്ങനെ ജസ്റ്റ് വായിച്ചു കൊടുക്കുന്ന ഒരു സാധനമായിരിക്കരുത്. But it should be the chronological of your work. Okay, that is work that you are doing from the start. തുടക്കം മുതൽ നിങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുന്ന വർക്കിന്റെ ആ ഒരു ഓർഡറിൽ വേണം you should prepare the presentation and reports. Okay, so these reports will actually project your design outcomes. This report will actually project your design outcomes, and also it gives you a correct information about the goals that can be achieved. Okay, the outcome or a designed outcome. Okay, the outcome എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നമ്മൾ ആ ഒരു ഡിസൈനിൽ പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കുന്ന ഔട്ട്കം അത് എങ്ങനെ അച്ചീവ് ചെയ്യണം എന്നുള്ളത്, it will be in the reports. So it is very important to create oral presentations and also written documentation. Now we are having a set of guidelines for the technical communication. Like we are all communicating every day, right? We are communicating by WhatsApp, we are communicating by mails, we are communicating by links. Okay, so that's a different. Technical communication is very different. Technical communication, as a corporate person is concerned, or as a developer is concerned, technical communication is very important. Okay, so we'll see how will you do a technical communication. So technical communication which is having mainly seven stages. First one is you have to know your purpose. Second one is you have to know your audience. Third stage, choose and organize the content around your purpose and your audience. Fourth one is write precisely and clearly. And fifth stage is design your pages as well. And sixth stage is think visually. Seventh stage is write ethically. Okay, these are the seven methods by which you can communicate in a technical manner. Okay, so I will say an example. So we'll take an example from our field itself. Suppose there are two clients. I am a client and you are sorry. I am a developer. I am a designer and you are another designer. Okay. So I am thinking to build a building which is of dome shape. Okay, I'm thinking to have something innovative. You are another designer and you want to create a building which is having a rectangular, a lingual, we can say some lotus shape. Okay, for example, you want to build a building in a lotus shape. So, technical communication is important for both of us. So, how will you communicate technically? Okay, that means our ideas are different, but it has to be communicated some way. So, how will you convey your idea to me, and how I will convey my idea to you? So, that is where we are getting the importance of a technical communication. Okay, so this technical communication is very important whenever you're going to any IT field or software field. Please wait, the PPT is loading. Okay, so coming to the first stage, that is know your purpose. From the name itself, from the title itself, we can understand analog of understanding of the design artifact. Just we want to understand what the design object must be and must do, and we need to understand the goals of the report and presentation. Okay, that's the first stage. That is and you should also understand that I am going to design a building which is having a dome shape. A purpose of design should be understanding. Like, but this is the first stage, and this is a writing analog of understanding of objectives, functions for a design artifact. Okay, ഒരു design ചെയ്യുന്ന സംഭവത്തിന് the second party should understand what are you actually going to do. Okay, so that's it. Just we want to understand what the design object must be. Okay, what the design object must be and what it must do and we need to understand the goals of the report and presentation. Okay. So the design documentation is it will ask, okay, client the design. Okay, so that client he'll be having so as if I am a client, okay, ഞാൻ ഒരു client ആണെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ you are telling me that okay there are so many projects are like this, okay, of so I have selected one project I should know in here. Okay, suppose if I am a designer, so I told you I am designing a dome, someone is designing a lotus. These two will be going to the client. So client has chosen the lotus design. So he must know the features of the selected design. So he must know the features of the selected design. And the design team may be trying to pursue a client that a design is best alternative. Okay, so design team what it will be always pursue the client to uh, choose the best design, and a designer may wish to report how a design operates to the users, whether the beginners or highly experienced work. Okay, okay. So as a designer is concerned, okay. So now that we can say that the Lotus building is chosen by the client. Okay, so the design team, what they will do, they'll ask you to choose the best one. So the best one is Lotus design. Okay, Lotus design has been accepted. So as a designer, what you should do now? You should report all the design operations to the user, how this Lotus building will operate. Okay, so he might not be knowing how to enter, where to exit, the operations. How can I provide a telephone line? How can I provide the electricity? How can the water lines can be provided? The operations of a building is very important. Okay. Can I provide a stairs over there? Can I provide escalators? Can I provide lift? So operations, not just building is important, but it has to be offered. ഒരു building ഉണ്ടാക്കിയപ്പോൾ മാത്രം പോരാ, അതിന് ഓപ്പറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റണം. ഓപ്പറേഷൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് അവിടെ വരുന്നത്? അതിനാവശ്യമായിട്ടുള്ള all the necessary has to be provided. The electricity has to be there, water should be there, escalators, lift, everything should be there. Okay. So how the building is working, the designer should explain the operations to the users. എങ്ങനെയാണ് അത് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യാന്നുള്ളതും കൂടി നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞ് മനസ്സിലാക്കണം. Okay. So I'm telling you an example with this our field, that is from the civil field. This is from the corporate field like IT, software field, machine, mechanical. Okay, so this is having more relevant in their field, so you can connect with them. Okay, നിങ്ങളുടെ ഒരു better understanding വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഒരു എക്സാമ്പിൾ എടുത്ത് പറഞ്ഞത്. Okay, so ഒരു design and engineering എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ actually it is having importance in the innovative field like machine drawing, അതേപോലെ തന്നെ software field. Okay, so civil field you cannot relate it much, so try to understand the difficulty. So please, I think almost time now. You can post your names to mark the attendance. Okay. So I think it's almost clear now. Next class onwards, I think we should switch to the examples. So rather than taking civil examples, it is better to take the machine examples.